Welcome to the Health and Happiness Show. As many of you know, I, Janet Hawkins, will be your host this evening. And I'm a graduate from Kent State, and I'm a certified doctor of naturopath. And actually, I'll be going to Las Vegas at the end of the month, continuing on my education as well, and we'll be at a conference for the Doctor of Naturopath, the Medical Association. Also, I will be studying with a Dr. Bob from Oregon, who is a doctor of naturopath as well, and he'll be providing a class on going to the root cause. And as many of you know, being in the holistic field, we always like to go to the root cause of what is causing the issues today. And as many of you know, being a doctor of naturopath, I feel as though what I have been taught is that a lot of our disease today is coming from standard American diet and the toxins. I'm talking about the toxins in the air and in the water that we are breathing. Everything has changed from when we were growing up back in the 60s and 50s, things of that sort. So it's a totally different ballgame. And what I'm finding, many people take better care of their car than they do their body. And we have to maintain this and clean it and feed it proper nutrition, because if you don't do proper gasoline for the car and take care of it, it'll putter down the road. So you're the CEO, so you are in charge. So here we are going into September, and everybody is going back to school now. So it may be you're a teacher, maybe you're involved in the school system, working in the cafeteria, teacher's helper, different things of that sort. But we've all got to change our routine and get sufficient sleep. You have to get the kids going back to bed earlier now. And then nutrition is so important as well. That is just very, very vital. You know, no Pop-Tarts, no dead foods. Try to scramble them some eggs, something like that. As you can see, we have our little vegetables here today in front of us. And we have our tomatoes, which are delicious. Did you check one out yet?
I did not.
Oh, they are. They're so good. My daughter and son, Deanna and Doug, have a great garden. So I went and picked the tomatoes there and the peppers. And then my neighbors have wonderful cucumbers, Erica and Jeremy. And then they had zucchini as well. So, you know, when you grow your own, you know what you are getting. And you know there are no chemicals and pesticides sprayed on that or any film covering it from the store. That's why we need to do as much as we can organic. Of course, right now we're at the end of the growing season, but I wanted to remind you, I just planted my second round of lettuce. Remember, I planted my first round in March. Well, it's done. So I planted some like 2 weeks ago, and due to the humidity, the rain, it's up like this already, like 1.5 inches. So I'm thinking, and it's a cold weather plant. So I will have fresh lettuce at least till November. I'm thinking the middle of November, depending on the weather it is, you know, because they like the cold weather, it'll be fine. So go outside. I don't care if you're in a condo, if you're in an apartment, or maybe you don't have a lot of room outside. Just get a big pot, get some good quality dirt, go to organic greenhouse over at Cindy's, get some organic soil, and get your seeds, and just sprinkle this on top. You know, work up your dirt and sprinkle this in. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it was up in like 4 or 5 days. And it's a very fine seed, the lettuce. And another thing, with the economy and with the, you know, being everything is so pricey today, you can go to Hartville Hardware, and they have the Black Simpson is the one I like, seeded lettuce. They have it in bulk, and it's a lot less expensive that way. So I'm just giving you some tips on what we have to do just to save you some, you know, a little bit money in the grocery shopping as well. So you can plant your lettuce, put it on your sandwich, make a salad, you know, all of the above. So, you know, you're the in charge, and it's just going to take a little bit of time. Just go out there and sprinkle it, work up your dirt first, and there you go. And let nature water it, and all is good. So we've got that covered, but then going back to school, we talked about that last month a little bit. We now have the chewable vitamins for children, which I feel they all need that as well. And then we have the elderberry defense, which is going to go in and help the immune system. Whenever you have like 20, 25 kids in a classroom, you know, it's just, there's a lot of people maybe have the sniffles, things of that sort. So it's important to keep their immune system up as well. So that is really good, important to take this one, and then the chewable vitamins as well. And of course, their color is all natural, and also with the chewable immune, the elderberry, that has a little bit of zinc in it as well, and it also has a little bit of vitamin C in it. Because vitamin C, you have to get that from food, and that's why I personally take it in a supplement form in a powder, which I just add it to my cold drink and drink it throughout the day. So this is what we need to do for our kids, little kids going back to school. And then I'm going to talk just a little bit about some learning disabilities. Now, we have some children that do have some issues with their learning, and the one thing that I like, especially if they're having issues with their having difficulty calming down, having a lot of mental clutter and things of that sort, and chatter. So, and it helps them to relax and sleep, and that is the GABA Plus. The GABA Plus is in a capsule form, and what it does, it goes in, and it's got glutamine in it, and it has a little bit of passion flower. Passion flower is a nervine as well. And for the children, you know, if they don't like it in a capsule form, what you can do is you can pull that capsule apart, and you can make it into a little powder and mix some honey with that, and that would be good to take for the children if they don't like it in a capsule form. So that would help you with, so a supplement would help, it's calming the brain down. And then that is one, if you have a child that is having a lot of issues, just can't calm down, and a little on the hyper side as well. And then we also have another one where it has a little bit of lemon balm in it, and that's focus attention. So if you have a little bit of difficulty with a child, difficulty concentrating and focusing, the focus would work. It's got lemon balm in it, it's got a little bit, let's see what else it has in it. And it has a little bit of glutamine in it, and it has ginkgo in it. Ginkgo is for the brain to help it remember and help the memory as well. So that's very good. Again, it comes in a capsule form, and if they don't like capsules, that's what you can do as well. So that is some things that are very nice for special needs. And then also, I have found maybe they're in middle school and they're feeling a lot of pressure. I like the NutriCalm. The NutriCalm is wonderful. I have used it on kids in high school because they're seeing a lot of pressure and trying to do the best they can do. And in this one, we have a lot of your B's in it, especially the pantothenic acid, which works on the adrenals, fight or flight. And then it also has a nice blend of some vitamin C, some valerian root, which is a nervine, and things of that sort. It has bee pollen for energy. And so that's a great combination. It has a lot of vitamin C and niacin and a lot of B's in it. And you would take like 2 or 3 of those before you go off to school, and that's for the middle age, okay? So that's the middle school, I'm saying. So now we can't forget the kids going to college. So always make sure you pack their vitamin D3, because you know they're going to be in the dorm studying or at the library, so we got to keep that immune system strong. Plus it's going to support your heart as well and your bones. So make sure you support your immune system totally. It's a whole new environment for them. So you do that, and then also I would suggest maybe doing some peppermint oil and herbal adjustment. What you're going to have to understand, college and school has changed a lot. So now they're on screen time and they're looking at their computer, they're leaned over a lot, or they're on the library, on the computer, and then we have problems in the neck area. So all you do is take some peppermint oil, rub that on externally, and that's going to go in and get more oxygen into that area that's all stressed and tight. And then over that, you apply herbal adjustment. And that has got lobelia, which is a relaxant. And then it also has a little bit of capsicum, which will increase the circulation. So you always put on the peppermint first and then the herbal adjustment over that. And then they can use that if their back's bothering them. Like I had a client at the flea market, which I do that on Saturdays just in the summertime. And I had a gentleman who was having difficulty with his arm. So I applied this on his arm for him. He was back in a half hour and said it helped. And it does. So usually it's very warm. And if you're taking a shower, you will feel the heat increase as well. And you can apply this on your back, on your knee, on your neck. It'll take a headache away within like 10 minutes. So these are something that are God's medicine, and they're natural, and you can use them as needed. So that's nice to have, because I always have that open by my desk at work as well. So, and then also, I feel as though we need to definitely consider olive leaf. Olive leaf, I only carry it in a liquid because liquids work very powerful. And that is going to help you against, say, a viral, bacteria, parasites, and candida. And I'm seeing a lot of viruses today when I do the saliva and urine testing. A lot of that and a lot of heavy metals. And so the olive leaf, or I would muscle test them, rather than saying you need this or that. As you understand, what I use is I call muscle testing. Everything has energy. So we'll have you hold it up to your chest, and then I will have you hold your arm out straight, and I'll push down on it. If it stays up really strong, it means you need it. If it goes down, you don't. This works with food, anything, you know. So, you know, I like to go to olive leaf or IVH. They're both totally different combinations, but they work for the same thing, a lot of the viruses. And then too, I'm seeing a lot of heavy metals, but definitely this needs to go with the kids to college. D and the olive leaf for sure. And then probably the fact that they're in a hurry, I would probably put them on maybe some elderberry defense or a vitamin as well, all around purpose vitamin. That was it. So, and if you need some assistance, like if your child has some allergies, we can use the ALJ. You only take it when you need it. That's what's so cool about that. It has horseradish, fennel, and mullein in it. And it'll take the, you know, because the allergies have been really, really bad this year. And I normally have to take at least 4, at least every other day when needed. And that's what's so nice. You don't have to take it all the time. And then I'm seeing a lot of heavy metals. I feel as though a lot of that is coming from the air today. And then I use the Pure Body Zeolite spray. And you put 4 sprays in your mouth 3 times a day. It doesn't matter if you've eaten or if you've drank anything. And it's very convenient for you as well. But that's only for the clients that come in, and we do the saliva urine testing, and we see if you have any heavy metals. I like that over hair analysis because I used to do that at one time, but I feel as though the saliva and urine is going in and giving us much more information as far as maybe your circulation, your lymphatic system. It'll tell us how your mitochondria is working. Remember, the mitochondria is your powerhouse. That's your energy. And I feel as though after the age of 50, we all need to consider taking COQ10. So that's going to go in and bring your energy up and help with your vitality as well. And you just have to remember, you have to really be observant and do quality products. As many of you know, I use Nature Sunshine, and the reason I do that is because they've been in business over 50 years. The quality control is excellent. We don't have to worry about, it is checked for heavy metals, it's checked for mold, bacteria, all types of things when their herbs come in. And so that, to me, is very priceless. And of course, no colors, no dyes, because remember, the dyes are carcinogenic over a period of time. So you have to be the CEO and be like the detective on what type of supplements you're taking in, because when clients come in for the first time, I have them bring their supplements in. So we've got to make sure there's no dyes, no GMOs, okay? So, or no soy. A lot of times they'll put soy in, and it will not say it's not a GMO, genetically modified. That's terrible. that was introduced back a long time ago. So we've got to be very careful and read the label as well. So anyway, we have our guest here again from last year. We have Dr. Albert Miller. Remember him last year? And he had written the book, You Can't Do That. So I'm so glad you took the time to come and join us again.
Thank you for having me back. It's a pleasure.
Right. Well, it's nice to come back to your roots. Is the way I put it,
correct.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Right. So we'll just do a little bit of summary. You grew up old order Amish, horse and buggy.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. And here he is today driving the car, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, he really, I mean, this book is excellent read. It's really very good. I'll probably read it again while I'm going out to Las Vegas for a 4-hour flight because I ordered the J.D. Vance book. I wanted to read it as well. Have you read it yet?
I did read that. I just finished that on our trip up here, actually.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to read that on the way.
It's very good.
Good, yeah.
Similar story from coming from a big disadvantage to where he's come to now.
Right, exactly. He's worked his way up. And you've done the same thing in a way, but a different culture.
Yes.
You know, I mean, your culture, I admire the Amish tremendously because they grow their own food and they're more into nature.
And I grew up with a good work ethic, so when I left and found myself a bit of a disadvantage, I never did go to high school, as you know.
Right.
Managed to take the GED tests and pass those, and the work ethic that the Amish culture gave me was really what gave me the umph and energy to make it through Kent State first, like you were at Kent State, I was too.
Right, exactly.
And then the University of Cincinnati, and have enjoyed a good career in medicine.
And that's a whole new avenue, living in a college campus. Did you live on campus or commute?
I did not. I actually started at Tuscarawas Branch campus.
Okay.
And spent the first couple of years there. I lived with a lovely lady, Olive Harris. She rented a room out. She was an elderly lady, so she was like a little mother figure motivating me, and I helped her with some of the housework there while I was at Kent State. And then when I went to the main campus, I actually bought a house trailer up there.
That's right. Remember that.
And we lived there with that. But for those of you who want this book, it is available at the Gospel Bookstore, Amazon.com, the Gospel Shop down in Sugar Creek, or any bookstore can order it for you.
Absolutely. It's a great really read. It really is. And I mean, it's walking you through the steps of how he grew up and where he is today, you know. So, and then you went to medical school at University of Cincinnati. Actually, my brother graduated from there as well, and I sent him one for Christmas last year as well.
Good.
So everybody got a book of yours for Christmas. So, I mean, I think it's nice to, especially since I grew up in Holmes County, you were in Coshocton County.
We were just across the Coshocton County line.
Right, exactly.
The line fence of my father's farm was the Holmes-Coshocton County line. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you come back every year to visit the family, brothers, and...
Yes.
Nice. Very nice.
And this visit was probably one of the best that I've had. My family has gotten to accept me much, shall we say, friendlier, happier. They're happy to see me now.
Good.
I've been invited back to all of my siblings' house except for one. And I have 10 brothers and sisters.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, there were 5 boys and 6 girls. So.
Yeah.
And
so you're ER doc now?
Yes.
And you like that?
Well, a little bit about my past medical history. I was trained in family practice and had a family practice residency, and then was in family practice here in Ohio. I got a little bit discouraged about a lot of modern medicine and did more holistic and natural health stuff and emergency medicine. And then as the kids grew and scattered across the country, one of them actually lives in Brazil.
And you were just over there this summer. Yeah.
Yes, we were. Actually, she got married. It was a lovely time there.
Nice.
And we decided we wanted to live in a warmer climate, so we moved south, and I've done emergency medicine only down there So,
Okay.
and looking forward to maybe retiring soon. Here.
Right, okay. So, with these, we're aging, and what are your thoughts on the aging process? Now that you are above 50, 60. So what are your thoughts on those type of things?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that question like that. I have told my family that I'm going to retire in a year or two for probably about 10 years. And the biggest stumbling block for me to my retirement was I didn't have anything planned. I don't have hobbies. I needed something.
Okay, you needed something, yes.
And I've come up with a solution. And that is I've decided that I want to help people make the last 20 years of their life their best years.
Nice.
So I took a couple courses on health and life coaching, and educated myself a lot on what happens as we get older, and what really is our limiting factor to staying independent. Okay,
Right.
And really, it's several things. We need a healthy diet. We need good sleep habits. We need to stay active. We
Absolutely.
need to work on our core motor strength, mobility, and balance. What we really see is as we get past age 60, 70, that's when it seems to have a critical mass effect, when we start to lose our muscle mass if we don't stay real active. The truth is, whether you believe it or not, or whether you realize it, you start to lose your muscle mass at about age 40.
Okay.
And we lose some every year. Now, sometimes I'll talk to somebody and they'll say, I haven't lost any muscle mass. They're maybe 50, 60. Well, you just haven't noticed it. But you have lost some muscle mass.
Right, right.
And we don't tend to notice it until we get probably into our 60s and 70s, when we start to actually notice it.
So what do we do to help prevent that?
The number one thing is to stay active.
Yeah.
I am currently setting up a website. My new little arm is going to be called Olive Branch Health and Life Coach.
Nice. I like
So
Olive Branch, yeah.
It actually came from when Noah saw the dove bring back the olive branch.
Okay.
It was time for him to do something new and something different,
Right.
and get out of the ark and start a new
Yeah.
life. So that's kind of where that name came from. But for those of you who are interested in what I'll be doing by December of this year, that website should be active, and it will be olivebranchhealthandlifecoach.com. You will find information on there, how to stay on a healthy diet. We'll talk a little more about diet here in just a
Yes, we're going to
minute.
talk about that, because I love it
active.
whenever I have clients that'll bring their children in, or I have clients come in their 20s and 30s. I like this, how do I say it nicely? Set the foundation. Right?
Yep, and growing up Amish,
Yes.
I ate healthy.
Yep.
Most of what we ate came from our garden.
Yeah.
The meat came from our own
Cattle.
farm.
Yes.
And we didn't have the food additives
Yeah.
that we have today. So you might say, what am I going to teach my clients about a healthy diet? The standard American diet, SAD, I'm going to teach them to try to get rid of SAD
Yes.
and be happy.
Absolutely.
and healthy.
Absolutely, I agree.
I'm not a fan of any real big specific diet. Anybody can go on the Mediterranean diet, the ketone diet, and lose weight and maybe look better and feel better over a 90-day period or so. But that's not lasting. And what we've found is far better for you is to find what you can give up in your diet that is unhealthy.
Right.
And going back to the kids going to school, the single biggest thing they need to give up for most of them is sugar.
Yes.
Those high sugar drinks, the Cokes and all that.
Well, and that's what's so nice about this chlorophyll.
Yeah.
It's, you know, because when clients come in for an appointment, I always serve them the chlorophyll because I'm trying to introduce them to this is choice. And the kids love this. This is going to go in and clean you up internally. It's going to balance your pH because when we're too acidic, that's when disease begins. And it's going to help your hemoglobin if you tend to be a little anemic. So, and this is, you just add this to your water and drink it throughout the day. You want a little bit in your glass?
Yes.
Okay. And it's kind of a minty taste. Okay. So, and then I find that a lot of kids like it too. So, and that's very good because rather than all this sugar stuff, the soda pop, the Pepsi, whatever, you know what I'm saying, it's all there, the Gatorade. So you've got to be the CEO of your body, what it amounts to.
Correct.
And then, you know, when it comes back to your food, we've got to talk about the Dirty Dozen list as well. And then strawberries is the top of that. So, I mean, people ask me, well, where do I do my shopping? Well, I go to Raisin Rack once a week, sometimes twice a week, because I can walk into this health food store, all of it's organic. I don't have to worry. Where, I mean, I'm not trying to be negative about Fresh Thyme, but they have a little section that is organic. But I really like the one where I can walk in and I know it is, and it's very fresh. But number two is, it's best to grow your own if you can. And you know, this is the season where we've done that. Now we're on the downside as well. But just remember, cabbage likes cold weather, the lettuce likes cold weather. Brussels sprouts, I remember going out and picking Brussels sprouts for dinner in like October, November out of the garden. So, you know. And then if you don't have a garden, you get a raised bed. I'm just giving you ideas, which we talked about that because we always have Cindy Petiti on, and she owns an organic greenhouse in Louisville. You would love her greenhouse, and her too as well. Yes. And because she's going to be on next month, because I usually have her on the spring and in the fall, so she can tell people how to prepare their soil, things of that sort as well. So.
Yep. And we had some lovely Ohio sweet corn while we were up here.
And non-GMO, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bought from the farm.
Yeah, good. Very, very, very good. So I think that's great that, you know, you're going to have the website, the Olive Branch Health and Coaching. Is that what it is?
Olive Branch Health and Life Coach.
Okay, Health and Life Coach. Okay,
Yes.
good, good. So we'll have to remember that. So that would be good for me to share that more. So the 1st of January, you'll have it up and running possibly by
Yes,
then?
it should be up and running in
Yeah.
December.
Good,
We
good.
should have it up and running.
Yeah, good. So,
Because I plan to retire in December.
okay, congratulations, yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, and this is like home to you to support natural health. You grew up with it.
I grew up with it. When I did practice medicine, I limited prescription medicines as much as possible and
Good.
used natural stuff. I personally, I'm 71 years old now. I take no prescription medicine other than a testosterone supplement.
Okay,
Everything else is natural vitamins.
good, good,
so
good. Yeah,
I have managed to avoid the chronic diseases, the diabetes, the high blood pressure,
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah.
by eating healthy and taking care of
right.
myself naturally.
Right. Well, and the thing is, I'll see clients that they have a blood sugar problem, and I always ask them, number one, are you exercising? Of course, that will lower the blood sugar. And then a simple thing like chromium is a mineral for the pancreas, and that'll bring your blood sugar down as well.
Yes.
But you need to change your diet is back at the bottom line, right?
Yes, change your diet, avoid those food additives. Remember the sad diet that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
The American food industry has added so many toxins into the foods to increase the shelf life.
Yes.
And the simplest thing, if I can say something about shopping, no matter where you shop, pretty much all the stores are set up in a similar fashion. You avoid the middle of the store, the grocery store, stay on the outside. That's where the fresh food and the produce
right.
is. And then learn to read the labels. And simply put, we don't have the time to go into all of the things to avoid, but the less ingredients in anything, the better.
Yep.
So if whatever food supplement you're shopping for, compare the different manufacturers and you'll be surprised how different they are.
Well, so a lot of times too, I will share with my clients, if you're going to do sugar, you know, you can use honey, would be a natural choice. Or if you really have to have sugar, I like to go to Aldi's, get the organic non-GMO sugar, because I think we were in the Bahamas or Jamaica somewhere, and they had the sugar fields. And I bought this sugar over there, and it was a brown color. It wasn't processed.
Yes.
And so, you know, I mean, because I personally, I'll be honest with you, I like to make homemade organic lemonade. And I use my sugar, so that's what I use, is the organic non-GMO, because I feel as though most of the sugar is a GMO today as well, and plus sugar is not good. You know.
It's not, and as you mentioned, natural sugar is always brown. There is no white sugar that is not processed.
Right. Same way with the Himalaya salt, it's pink, and that's what I use, because there's all the minerals in it. Because anything that's white, it's bleached, you know. So we try to, and that's like, I don't even eat like spaghetti. I would do zucchini squash, and I would use that for a casserole, you know, rather than having white stuff. You know, I'm just very particular.
Yes.
So, but that's very interesting, because so nutrition's number one. And then what else did you say? Exercise. We have to move.
And staying physically fit. Memory issues.
Okay, what do you suggest for that?
Well, believe it or not, physical activity and regular exercise is associated with preventing dementia more than anything else.
Good to know.
We always used to think that it was keeping your brain active and doing puzzles and reading and so forth, and that's good. So don't get me wrong, you definitely do want to do those things, but what we've discovered is physical activity is more important even than that.
Well, that's
so
good
do
to
both.
know. Good to know.
And then we've not brought up other diseases, but cancer.
Yes.
Natural foods is the best way to
absolutely
to avoid cancers, and having a healthy immune system. Cancer is one of those things that it's also important to screen for. You know, so when you're at the appropriate age, you screen for cancer. For example, colon cancer.
Right.
If that can be diagnosed when it's a polyp in situ, it can be removed, and there's no problem. So those of you who are of the appropriate age, follow your doctor's advice and get colonoscopies. And
now, what are your
screening.
thoughts about a mammogram? Because I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I do thermal imaging.
Thermal imaging or MRI are probably better than the plain regular mammogram.
Okay.
But speaking of it, it is important to do screening. It is important to do self-exams. And for men, testicular self-exams, important. I want to point something out. From when it comes to cancer, it's a terrible word, and it's a terrible thing to get diagnosed with. However, whether we're dealing with breast cancer, colon cancer, ovarian cancer, testicular cancer, stomach cancer, when people die from those diseases, they don't die from the cancer that's in the breast, they don't die from the cancer that's in the colon, they die from that spreading and going to the liver, going to the bone, going to the brain, and being past when we can control it anymore. So the take-home message is to diagnose cancers early. First, prevent them if possible. Eat natural food, healthy food. Avoid the food additives. Most of those food additives add to your oxidation and inflammation. And those are things that make you more likely to develop the cancers. But the only way to treat a cancer without any toxins is to find it early enough to be able to cut it out.
Correct, yeah. What do you think about the toxins that we're exposed to today? Do you feel as though that our burden is, we have much more toxins that we're exposed to now than when we were growing up?
We have much more toxins in the environment. If you live in Holmes County or rurally, you're going to have a lot less toxins than those of us who are living in the cities. But even there, with a lot of the mechanized farm equipment gives you more toxins and that you inhale than what we
exactly,
did.
yeah.
So, but toxins are also in those food additives.
Right, yeah. Well, and then we have toxins in a lot of our cleaning products. I know I personally am very particular on my detergent, and I don't use any fabric softeners. I have the little balls, you know, that I put in. So, you know, but we've talked about that before on the show. You've just got to be, you know, really on the ball on, you know, trying to stay away from many of the toxins because we're bombarded with them as well. And the food is number one. And then, you know, like he said, our physical exercise. That is so good to know that the exercise is good, because I know I was at the gym this week and the one lady said, I really thought about quitting because my balance is really bad. I said, honey, you can't quit. No. You know, because she was even having trouble putting one foot in front of the other and had to hold on to something. And I said, keep working. Maybe it'll improve with time.
Yes.
So.
Speaking of the toxins in cleaning products.
Yes.
Shop for natural cleaning products. There are many companies out there. We use Melaleuca products for our cleaning, laundry, and all of that stuff. Yeah. And there are no toxins in those products. Right, yeah, because I like the one spray. You can mix it up to clean up a spot on the carpet. You have to dilute it with water. Yeah. Solumel. I like that one. But all of their products, and they're not the only company that will have that. There's other companies. There's the multi-purpose cleaner that door-to-door salesmen come around and tell you that you can drink it. So if you can drink a product, not that I'm suggesting you do any of that, right? But it's natural. It's going to clean without giving you all the poison. Yeah. So.
But basically, I always endorse people to kind of go by the dirty dozen. Strawberries is on there, spinach, apples, grapes. They use a lot of toxins on things like that. But the downside of doing the organic, I'll be honest with you, because I've been making organic lemonade, and the lemons don't stay real fresh, you know, when they're organic. So you've got to use them within like a week, 10 days is what I'm saying, you know, so. And I even you can go to Mark's, you can buy organic carrots, organic celery, things of that sort, you know, because they use a lot of pesticides on a lot of these products, and then we're getting that. So that's why diet's so very, very important. Yeah. So we've got the nutrition to move, and then are you seeing a lot of stress as well when you're seeing your clients?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
My work is stressful, so is many of other people's work. I think that the corporate culture has gotten a lot more stressful, or shall we say, results driven, and you've got to they're just pushed more, and then that causes people not to sleep as well. And we didn't mention when we were talking about aging well. Just maybe talk a little bit about the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah, explain that to the clients. Yeah,
that's a stress component. When we're stressed, some of you may be thinking of the fight and flight response. The sympathetic nervous system is the fight part. When we're stressed, we are more high-strung. Our body naturally is in a
hyper state,
hyper state, and not in a calm and healing phase. So one of the things I work with people on that with my new career is going to be to teach them relaxation techniques to calm their body down.
Nice.
We do that with meditation, deep breathing exercises. So when you find yourself stressed, hyper, and jittery, you can calm down. You can calm yourself down with just relaxing, closing your eyes, and doing some deep breathing in and out.
Yeah,
And
I-
I'll
yeah.
talk clients through that. Tensing your muscles in your head and neck and releasing it. And then working all the way down from that to your arm, your
Okay.
chest muscles, your abdominal muscles. Each one real tense, and then relax and feel the energy go out of your body as you exhale.
Right.
All the way down to your toes. And in the end, you just feel yourself letting go of all the stress
Right.
you have held up and letting it just flow out
Now,
to
see,
your toes.
my type of meditation is, is I like to walk in nature. And when I get out away from everything, just in God's country,
Mm-hmm.
may it be with the trees, just the air,
Yep.
you know.
I do that as well. I walk, and sometimes I'm listening to a podcast or a book or music, but I walk 3 to 4 miles
Good.
every morning. On the days that I don't go to work, it's a
That's
4-mile
good.
walk, and the days that I don't. And then you were mentioning the other things that I do is to keep balance. Put a 2x4 on a floor,
Okay.
or have even just a straight line,
Mhm.
and see if you can walk on that 2x4.
Okay.
Why a 2x4 and not something way up here that's elevated?
Yeah.
You want to be safe.
Right,
You
right,
want-
exactly. We don't want to fall.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And can you stand on one leg
Mm-hmm.
for 60 seconds, 1 minute?
That's interesting because, you know, I'm thinking it's when I go to the gym because I work out 3 days a week. And the one exercise is I stand on one leg, pull the thingy little straps, and
Yep.
I do that, alternate standing on the legs.
And then next, try standing on one leg with your eyes closed.
With what?
Your eyes closed.
Oh, I haven't done that one.
See if you can do that. And
Okay.
to do all those things safely, especially if you're
Older,
my
like
age
my
and so
age,
forth,
or-
you
yeah,
want to
I'm
do
older.
it somewhere where you, like a kitchen counter is a perfect spot.
Yeah.
You have your hand on the counter. And when you feel, if you feel unbalanced, that's
Yeah,
where you
security.
start.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then if you get really good at it, can you stand on one leg? Now this is with your eyes open though, and pivot
Oh, okay.
in a circle.
Very
You-
interesting.
With your toes and heels,
Yeah.
move them around. And
So you'll
Those
come
are-
back next year. When you come back, you'll have a lot of little exercises for people to do, right?
I will. I will.
Interesting. Good. Very good. So we have talked about nutrition, exercise, and stress. Well, what about sleep? You as a doctor, whenever they're having sleeping problems, what do you suggest?
There's several things to do, but the number one thing is to prepare to sleep. So you need to get yourself ready to sleep. You need to get your body ready to sleep, and your mind. How do you get your body ready to sleep? Number one thing is don't eat for probably 2 hours before you go to bed.
Okay.
Absolute minimum of 1 hour, but preferably 2 hours. So you're not going to bed with a full or bloated stomach.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
it takes about 2 hours for food to leave your stomach. And then prepare your mind to go to sleep. If you have difficulty falling asleep, don't watch TV in bed. Don't even read a book in bed. If you're going to read sitting in your chair and so forth. I personally don't have any problem falling asleep. However, on those very rare times that I maybe have a little trouble, or I have want to get up at a specific time, I do an exercise. And for people who have difficulty falling asleep, suggest they do that exercise. And that is when you go to bed, you're laying on your bed, I'm going to make up the time, whatever time you're in bed. Let's just say I'm going to bed now at 11 o'clock at night, and I want to wake up at 6 a.m. That's slightly less than 8 hours of sleep that I like to get, but I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to close my eyes. I'll be thinking, I'll see the clock. It is now 11 o'clock. I'll see those hands turn 11 to 12 to 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then I'll see slowly the hand is moving up to 7 o'clock, and I'm going to wake up then. I tell myself that's what my body's supposed to do and what it's going to do, and I'm going to feel good and ready to go to work at 7 o'clock.
Well, and I think the same routine is very good as well.
Yeah, if you can go to bed at the same time all the time and up at the same time all the time is...
Now, what I am finding too, I do have a lot of clients that are having difficulty sleeping, is I suggest some magnesium for them.
Magnesium
before they go to bed.
Yep, calming and relaxing.
It's very calming and helps you relax. And I feel as though today we're in such a fast pace of we got to do this and we have to do this, because even myself, I'll make my to-do list for each day, and I like a calmer day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel as though the magnesium is just going to help you relax, and you always take it before you go to bed. And one thing that you have to remember, if you take too much, it'll relax the colon and you'll get diarrhea. So we have to be very careful with that as well.
And you can take topical cream on magnesium too and rub it.
The spray and the cream. Yes, you can do that.
And the other thing that's important with sleep is having darkness.
Yes.
Because light tends to avoid the natural...
the natural darkness helps you sleep better,
And melatonin is released in response to darkness.
Yes.
So...
Yes.
The melatonin is also a good supplement to use if you have difficulty sleeping.
Yes, because a lot of times, I know at times I've used the melatonin and the magnesium, but my sleeping seems to be better as well. But then I use the earthing pillow as well, which, I had talked to you about that. And I will let you have the book and you can read that because you're a reader as well. So you can have that. I'm sorry, I thought I had the cover in there, but it isn't. It's home.
And this is new to me.
What's that?
This is new to me. This is the first time I had heard about
it's
this.
Called
so
grounding, and a lot of times I don't have time to do this, to get out and walk in the ground in your bare feet. That's the same principle. But then I have the cover over my pillow, and it is plugged in to the plug, and then, of course, with the pillow, and that helps me sleep. And I swear that is what helped me to adjust to the loss of my husband, because I was a stressed mess before, and I was introduced to that at my conference last year, and it just really helped. And then I gave it to each of my family members as well for a Christmas gift. And then he's written, I bet met the gentleman that had written the book as well, and they now have a pillowcase to put over it, which I'm glad to hear that, because I don't like to put my head on that black thing. But they said you're not to put a pillowcase over it, so they have built one now special for it. So I'll be looking at that. So but I think you'll enjoy that read. Grounding, I totally believe that due to wearing shoes, we miss the connection to the earth, where it's going to go in and help balance you a little more.
I was reminded of that again Sunday when we were visiting my Amish relatives, and my great nieces and nephews are out running around on the grass in their barefoot.
And they're
barefoot. Like I used to do.
Exactly. That's what we used to do back in those days.
I haven't done that in decades now. So.
So now they have screen time, right?
Yes.
Because you're going to love this. My little 9-year-old grandson, I said, if you don't behave, I'm sending you down to the Amish country. No. I said, oh, yeah. They'll come up here and they'll enjoy your screen time, and you go down there and you don't have it. So it's just a total different way of life, and it's going back to nature and being calm and quiet. And I love
peaceful.
going back and hearing the horse and buggies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
And another nature part, just being out, I was at my brother's on Sunday, and they have a pond right across the street.
Okay.
And there's a bald eagle and an osprey that live in the area. They can actually see
Nice.
the bald eagle's nest when the leaves are off of the trees, but they come flying around over that and then
Wow.
feast on the fish in the pond.
Yeah, yeah. Very nice.
Yes,
Very
yeah.
nice. Yeah. So we nutrition, and we talked about exercise and stress and sleep. Is there anything else we need to add that's important? Maybe attitude?
Yeah, mental attitude, and be kind
Keep
to.
active, basically.
Yep, and be kind to yourself and be kind to everybody else.
Right, and then I think too, it's so
I was
important to be grateful.
Thankful for
Yeah,
what
and be
you have.
thankful for your Lord and for the many blessings that we've been entitled to as well.
Yes, yeah.
So, and you plan on writing a book as well, correct? Another book?
I am going to write another book. Yes, I'm putting together, if we have enough time to go through this a little bit.
Yeah, we have about 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm putting together my course that I will be going through, which will be a 12-week course. How to make the last 20 years of your life the happiest and healthiest 20 years of your life.
Okay.
And of course that starts at a very young age in planning for that, but it's planning financially, spiritually, and then living intentionally. But first we got to think tactfully to identify what we want and what our risk factors are, and then live your life intentionally. So there will be a 12-week course that I will teach in a coaching fashion.
Okay.
Once each individual has kind of identified what their weaknesses are or things they want to improve.
Right.
And they're going to be different for everybody, but there are themes. And as I put those the coaching sessions together for the 12-week coaching sessions, I will have about 30 or 40 different things that I'm going to pull from based on what the needs are.
Okay. And so
And we'll put that into.
it's a 12-week course, so you have a Zoom meeting
It'll be on Zoom.
once a week.
Once a week, yeah. I've done some trials on those already for with friends.
Okay, nice.
And then my requirement for them was that I want you to help me by telling me how I could make this better for the next person.
Nice.
And so I'm going to do a few more friends and family trials like that before we
Get the book.
Yes.
So when
And
do you
we'll-
think you'll have the book? Probably it'll take you another year to write the book, right?
The book will probably be mid of next year.
Okay, good.
That should come out. So
Good. So would you be willing to come back next year when you come to visit again?
most
And
certainly.
we'll talk about that
Most
new book.
certainly,
Yeah.
I will be glad to do that.
You know, because we need to share and support people and give you new ideas on what we can have quality of life and,
Yes.
you know, a better world to live in today. And, you know, you are creating the foundation and feeding this. God gave you a body and you have to treat it well. So, well, thank you so much, Dr. Miller, for being with us again. It's always such a pleasure to have you here sharing all your information. And I know when you have the website up, I'll endorse that as well, because you're not going to have that up till probably January.
Yeah, maybe December.
January. Well,
December.
you'll let
Somewhere
me know,
right
'cause
in
we'll
that.
communicate, okay?
Yep.
So is there anything you would like to say before we close?
I want to say to everybody out there, treat yourself with respect, take care of your body, honor the God, and live a good, healthy, happy life.
Okay. Thank you, and be very grateful. And thank you, and everyone enjoy the season of fall's coming upon us. So be well and be safe. God bless. Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.